Do you want to know more about the Middle Ages? You might be surprised by how much life has changed and what hasn't, so let's get started. Hey, welcome back to Understanding the World. Are you ready to travel back in time to the Middle Ages? But wait, don't break out your corsets and tights just yet. Because today we're going to help you separate fact from fiction when it comes to life during this fascinating period. From the Black Death to peasant uprisings, the Middle Ages were definitely a wild ride. But what do we really know about what daily life was like? And what do we think we know that might not be completely true? So grab your quill and parchment and let's get to it. Myth No. 1. People thought the earth was flat. Okay, first up, let's talk about a big one. The idea that people in the Middle Ages thought the earth was flat. It turns out that most educated people, from sailors to scholars to even church leaders, knew that the earth was round. They based their navigation on the fact that the earth was a sphere. So why do we have this myth? Well, it actually grew much later in the 19th century. Myth No. 2. Life expectancy was only 30. Next up is the myth that if you lived in the Middle Ages, you wouldn't make it past the age of 30. While it's true that life expectancy was shorter back then, it was mainly because of high infant mortality. If you managed to survive childhood, you could often live into your 60s. In fact, many people did. So while the average life expectancy might have been around 30, that doesn't tell the whole story. It was actually pretty normal for people to live into their old age. Myth No. 3. People never bathed. Alright, let's tackle another popular myth. The idea that people in the Middle Ages never bathed. But this one is not quite accurate. Medieval towns often had public bathhouses and castles usually had private bathing rooms. It was common for people to bathe weekly or even daily. However, hygiene standards were not the same as today. For example, they didn't use soap the way we do now. But the fact is people did bathe regularly. The decline of bathhouses happened later due to fears of the plague being spread through water. Myth No. 4. Peasants ate only bread and water. Now let's clear up some misconceptions about the food people ate during the Middle Ages. We often think of peasants eating only bread and water, but that's not really true. Sure, bread was a staple of their diet, but they also ate cheese, vegetables, fish, and eggs. And depending on their location and the season, they might also eat meat, seasonal fruits, and herbs. Beer was also a part of daily life for many people. So while their diet might have been different from ours, it wasn't as simple as bread and water. And no. 5. The Middle Ages were a dark age. Finally, let's address the myth that the Middle Ages were a dark period in history. It's true that there was a lot of war and the plague, but that doesn't tell the whole story. During this time, there was also a lot of progress made in science, trade, and culture. Universities were founded, Gothic cathedrals were built, mechanical clocks were invented, eyeglasses were created, and the printing revolution started. So while the Middle Ages were not without its challenges, it was also a time of great advancement. Calling it a dark age is not really accurate. So there you have it, 5 common myths about life in the Middle Ages. Remember, history is full of surprises and it's always worth taking the time to learn more about our past. Who knows, you might just be surprised at what you discover. So which myth surprised you the most? Did you know any of these already? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We've got lots of other videos to explore. Thanks for joining us and we'll see you next time. Bye.